I've got to be honest, when I was looking at outdoor fridges I kept tripping over the same story. You buy a cheap, budget unit because the price looks good, you bring it home, and a week later the door won't seal, the temperature swings wildly, and you're left with a half-full fridge that can't keep your drinks cold enough for a backyard barbecue. That kind of buyer's regret is what makes me pause before hitting add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So the question I kept asking myself was whether the Bull Outdoor Products 13700 series I actually feels like the smarter buy, or if it's just another overpriced promise. First off, this isn't a refrigerator that's going to replace your indoor kitchen model. It's designed for a specific scenario, an outdoor kitchen or a patio setup where you want a dedicated cold storage space that can survive the elements. That means you're already accepting a bit of a trade-off: less precise temperature control than a built-in stainless steel fridge, but more flexibility in placement and a look that blends with a grill island. If you've ever tried to keep a cooler stocked with beers, sodas, and a few grocery bags for a week-long camping trip and found the ice melting too fast, you'll understand why a purpose-built outdoor unit makes sense. What sets the Bull 13700 apart is the use of 304 stainless steel throughout the cabinet. That grade of steel isn't just a marketing buzzword, it resists rust and corrosion even when you leave the unit exposed to rain, snow, or salty air. I've seen cheaper models with painted finishes that start peeling after a single season, and that's a nightmare to fix. With the Bull, you can wipe down the surface with a damp cloth and it will still look like new a year later. That durability is where the value really starts to show up, especially if you live in a climate that swings between hot summers and freezing winters. Temperature control is another area where many outdoor fridges fall short. The Bull offers a digital range from 32°F up to 50°F, which covers the sweet spot for most drinks and perishable foods you'd want to keep just chilled, not frozen. In real-world use I set it to 38°F for a weekend barbecue, and after a full day of the grill firing and the sun beating down, the internal thermometer stayed within 2 degrees of the set point. The built-in front vent and 2 fans, one inside, one outside, help pull in fresh air and expel heat, which is why you don't hear that humming, working hard sound that some other units make. That quiet operation matters when you're entertaining. Nobody wants a fridge that sounds louder than the music. Now, let's talk space. At 4.9 cubic feet you get just enough room for a couple of cases of beer, a few pizza boxes, and a small selection of fresh salads. The door is reversible and locks, which is handy if you have kids or you want to keep the contents secure when you're not home. I've actually used the unit in a split-level patio where the fridge is built into a countertop. The reversible door let me swing it toward the indoor side so I could grab a soda without stepping outside, then close it up when the party moved outdoors. That flexibility is a practical win, but it also means you're not getting a massive freezer-style capacity. If you're hoping to store a week's worth of groceries for a family of 5, you'll find yourself supplementing with a second unit or a traditional cooler. One hidden trade-off that shows up after a few weeks is the cutout dimension. The unit is designed to be either freestanding or built-in, but the front vent requires a clear space of a few inches on either side. In a tight cabinet niche, you might have to do a little carpentry to make room for the airflow. I ran into that issue when trying to retrofit the fridge into a small alcove under a pergola. The fans needed clearance, so I ended up building a shallow frame to house the unit while still allowing air to move. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to plan for before you order. Who should buy this? If you already have an outdoor kitchen, a deck bar, or a summer house that sees regular use, the Bull 13700 is a solid companion. It's especially appealing for people who want a permanent, weather-ready solution rather than juggling ice chests every weekend. The stainless steel shell and the ETL, DOE, and CE certifications give you confidence that it meets safety and energy efficiency standards, useful if you're mindful of electricity bills and local code compliance. Also, if you entertain a crowd that expects cold drinks at the ready, having a dedicated fridge eliminates the scramble to restock a cooler halfway through the party. Who should skip it? If you live in an apartment with no outdoor space, Or if you're looking for a freezer-grade unit to store large quantities of meat for a holiday, this isn't the